Hello guys, welcome back again to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys my thoughts and some of the things I've experienced and observed in the ZE21. The Zealot Z21 is a new speaker from Zealot. That's a boombox speaker right there. Now have it in mind that speaker is an amazing speaker, but these are the things you might want to consider before going to get the speaker for yourself, or if you're just curious.
Make prolific confessions into the master plan. I feel like they will never let me shine. What do you need to say that feels so grand? Why is yours so much better than mine? I gotta wait in line for you to feel me. I got to hold my time for the healing. I got to take a back seat. Are you kidding? I got to grab my chance cause it's fleeting. Cause this just feels like yesterday. Just feels like yesterday. Oh, this just feels like yesterday. Oh, this just feels like yesterday. Hey.
There are three main things that I'm going to be sharing with you guys in this video. Three major things I've observed. One of those things is that the shape of the Zealot Z21 is kind of like giving you that vibe that is portable, but that speaker is not the most portable speaker out there because the speaker is huge. But I love what Zealot did there with the shape. It's unique. The shape is definitely unique, but at the same time the shape is complicated in the sense that it gives you the vibe that the speaker is portable, especially when you see it in pictures, videos. But that speaker is not portable. That's a huge speaker right there. So if you're the kind of person that like to take a portable speaker on the go, then you might want to get ready for some weightlifting because that speaker is heavy, 9.4 kg. But other than that, the speaker is not a bad speaker. It's not a big for nothing speaker. There are a lot of big for nothing speakers out there. They just got that big size, but they actually have terrible sound. So that's not the same case for the ZE21. It has a good bass, has good sound, which you're going to be hearing later on in this video. It has a good sound, but as for the size, it's something you might want to consider. And I also love what Zealot did there because the speaker can actually fit in tight corner despite being a big boombox speaker. It's still kind of like portable. Like I said, it gives you the vibe that it's portable, makes you feel like it's very portable, especially when you see it in pictures and videos. But the speaker can actually fit in tight corners, especially when you're playing it around, in your house, those moments when you want to do house party, self party and all of that. The speaker can actually fit in tight corners, especially if you're the kind of person that actually takes your speaker, from the living room to the bedroom, all of that. You barely have space, then the speaker can actually fit in tight corner. You're not going to have a lot of issues with that compared to the Zealot S89 and the S98, which barely fits in tight corner because they're kind of huge. But the ZE21 is a tall speaker. The speaker is the most tallest Zealot speaker I've owned. So basically, if size is an issue for you, then you definitely want to go for the ZE01. Because I've seen a lot of person that actually told me that they love the shape, the unique shape of the ZE21. So if you have issues with size, you definitely want to go for the ZE01. It's a 120 watt speaker by Zealot as well. It shares the same similar shape with the ZE21, but it's smaller compared to the ZE21, which is why I call it the little brother to the ZE21. And another thing I've observed is that this speaker, because of the shape, because of the unique shape, it actually moves around, easily moves around. It's not the most balanced speaker I've seen. The speaker actually moves around. So if you're the kind of person that have pets, or you have kids moving around in the house, then you're probably going to have a lot of accidents because the speaker easily falls down. But Zealot actually did a lot of work. I saw a lot of work they put in, trying to make the speaker balanced because it's just a tall speaker. Zealot actually puts in a lot of work to make the speaker balanced, which I find really helpful. But at the same time, the speaker is not the most balanced speaker. So having in mind that you want to be careful with the speaker, especially when you're putting it in high places. So you don't want to have that speaker falling down because it's not the most balanced speaker. It's not that it's going to fall while it's playing music. No, the speaker is stable even when you're playing music at max volume with heavy bars on the pressures and all that. The speaker doesn't move around. The Zealot S89 moves around when you're playing song with heavy bars, especially when you put in the bass EQ songs with heavy bars because of that pressure, all the air's pushing out of passive radiators. You get to see the speaker moving around a little bit. It's not crazy, but the ZE21, I haven't noticed anything like that. Even playing in the bass EQ, I haven't noticed the speaker moving around. It's stable, it's balanced. What I'm referring to when I say it's not the most balanced speaker is that when you accidentally hit it with your hands, your leg, or it might be your pet, the speaker can easily fall down compared to the Zealot S89. So that's why I say it's not the most balanced speaker out there. And before I share with you guys my last observation, I'd like you to hit the like button and subscribe to this channel if you haven't. Drop a comment to the comment section. Let me know the things you've observed if you have the ZE21, or the things you're looking forward to get, or which speaker you want me to compare with that speaker. Just let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Personally, I think that speaker worth the price, the ZE21. So if you want to get it, go ahead and get it. For purchase link, check the description below. And for more information regarding the features, price, and all that, check the unboxing video of the ZE21 in this channel. I'm going to be adding a link to that video in the description below. Now, the third thing I noticed is that when playing on bass EQ, you lost a large amount of the vocals on that speaker. It's almost like the treble, the vocals, the tweeters, almost like they are not there. Sometimes even with songs with heavy bars, you almost feel like the whole vocals, just automatically disappeared. So that's another little issue I observed in that speaker. I've seen a lot of speakers, I've tested a lot of speakers, that when you put them in the bass EQ, they still get to maintain the treble, the vocals, they still get to maintain the mids, the highs. But the ZE21, it lost a large amount of the vocals when you're playing in bass EQ. It's just like the speaker focus more on bass. Of course, it's the bass EQ, right? But you can also enjoy good sound, the vocals, the mids, the highs. They can also be present even when playing in the bass EQ. I've tested a lot of speakers that even when you're playing them in the bass EQ, you still get to enjoy good sound, the mids, the highs, they're still very much present. So I think that's something Zealot have to work on. Compared to the Zealot S89, like a lot of you guys know already, the Zealot S89 has a lot of issue when you're playing in bass EQ. Even when you're playing low volume, the speaker has a lot of issue when you're playing in bass EQ. So to enjoy that speaker, I recommend you play on normal EQ and vocal boost EQ. Just try as much as possible to avoid the bass EQ, then you should be good. But as for the ZE21, you can actually play in bass EQ, but the thing is that you lost a lot of treble when you're playing in bass EQ. The bass is great, it's massive, but you just lost a lot of vocals when you're playing in the bass EQ. So in my opinion, the Zealot ZE21 is at its best when it's playing on normal EQ or vocal boost EQ. But however, it's a great speaker. Like every other portable speakers out there, they have their pros and cons. This is the ZE21 and it's an amazing speaker. So thank you so much for watching. Until next time, stay safe out there.